Hey, what's up everyone? Cobi here today, presenting to all a new series for the channel. As today we are going to be starting Cobi Sez, which is my Q&A series where I'll basically be answering your questions in the comments below on these videos, and I'll choose different questions. Sadly, not going to be doing all of them because on the last video I got over 1,400 comments, and there were a lot of questions that were basically the same, but I'm going to try and cover a majority of them. Really good questions, and because this series is more so about other topics besides gaming, and you can ask me different questions about the channel if you want to, or what I intend to do, or what you would like to see on the channel. At the same time too, I would also like to get into more personal topics, whether it be wanting to ask me something, or whether it be asking for advice, just I guess in your personal life or whatever. By the way, there are only 2 weeks left for the Pumpkin Hill and Chill t-shirt, so if you would like to get that, make sure to cop it, because I think after this little set, I'm not going to sell them anymore. I'm going to switch to something else instead. So yeah, if you want one, better go hit it up before that 2-week deadline. Also, what is it? If you all are excited about this and want to keep on seeing more, make sure to hit that thumbs up, as it helps out tremendously. And leave your question down below in the comments for maybe next episode of Cobi Sez. But just a heads up, I'm actually recording this after I've answered all the questions. The reason for that being, I was really nervous while recording that video, and I wanted to let you all know that. So there are going to be a lot of knows and likes. Basically my substitute for Barack Obama's I'm Barack Obama and I approve this message. Coban or something. But yeah, so I was a little bit nervous. Hopefully I'll get more adjusted to doing stuff like this because it's a little bit different. But yeah, anyway, enjoy. Alright, so first question is from Chum Zone Gaming Entertainment. By the way, it was awesome to meet you at the Sonic San Diego party. But he asks, how come you never Twitch or live stream like you used to? Well, the reason for that is I honestly don't have the time. I don't have the energy either. As right now I'm on a really strict diet. I'm on a keto diet actually. And most of my energy and my enthusiasm goes into my videos. And I'm trying to do my goal right now for myself is to do at least 1 to 3 videos a day. Right now for the past few days it's been 1 day because I'm still kind of getting adjusted to this new keto diet. But basically when I'm not recording, when I'm not editing, which is all very time consuming by the way, along with making thumbnails as well, I'm basically just working out. I go to the gym like twice a day, and then I'm exhausted from that, and then I eat, and then I may chill and watch a couple Smash matches or go to sleep or something like that. So honestly, my life is kind of in this, I don't know, it's kind of a little bit lame. It's just this basically a daily process, same thing over and over again. So it's a little bit tedious, but hopefully when I get adjusted to this whole thing, like this diet, working out twice a day, recording and editing, and I can finally get ahead, then I want to start doing streams again, because with my Twitch I was basically doing it to where that was kind of my, I guess, R-rated thing, to where I didn't really have to worry about censoring myself or anything like that. And I do miss that actually. So yeah, I do want to start live streaming again. It's just I need to find the right time so that I don't overwhelm myself again and then start just basically falling inconsistent. So I'm trying to take things one step at a time basically. Alright, so Nintendo Gamer 2015 asks, do you plan on doing any indie games like Shovel Knight or Undertale? And this is actually the most asked question on the video announcing that I was doing this Q&A series. I don't know why. I guess a lot of people really want me to do Undertale. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to do Shovel Knight or Undertale because, like I said, I don't really play video games too much outside of what I play on my channel. So if it's not something going up on my channel, I don't really play it as much anymore. Except for Smash Bros. If I'm, say, in SoCal or something like that and I'll practice with friends and whatnot. But besides that, I don't really play video games just on my own time. I don't really have the time. I need to find the time. And I kind of want to do Undertale as a game that I do before I, upload onto YouTube and whatnot. But at the same time, Etika has been talking about, maybe getting me to do it whenever we collaborate sometime soon. I don't know when that's going to be. But, he kind of wants me to play through the game and, see my reactions and all that stuff and kind of guide me through it since, I don't really play too many RPGs or, games like that. So, I don't know, maybe a possibility, but it's kind of cool to see that a lot of people actually do want to see indie games on the channel. It's something I'll definitely have to consider. Alright, so Jay Money asks, do you have any tips on small YouTubers like me to gain support? So honestly, this is a question I always struggle with because it's always changing. YouTube's climate is always changing. At one point, people are obsessed with COD, people are obsessed with Minecraft, Nintendo games, or, you know, makeup tutorials, and now people are obsessed with drama channels. Like, that's a big thing right now. And it seems like, you know, people just kind of have to learn how to adapt. That's what you gotta do. You gotta learn how to adapt, you know, keep on finding new ways to, you know, put yourself out there more, grow, build yourself an audience. And consistency is a huge thing, so that's one thing I'm trying to get back again. Also, another thing is learning how to take constructive criticism. I think that's really, really huge, because YouTube is basically a place that attracts, you know, all kinds of different people on the internet. And you're gonna find people from different walks of life, and, you know, sometimes they're gonna cuss the hell out of you. And I've had that happen multiple times where I'm just like, whoa, what the heck, what is going on? Because on my phone, oh, well, it doesn't actually show here, but on my phone I actually get alerts whenever I get a comment on YouTube. So you know, sometimes I'll be like, you know, out doing something, or I may be traveling, or I may be going out to eat, and someone's like, you freaking I'm like, whoa, holy crap, I just landed on my plane, or I just woke up this morning and someone's already cussing me out. So yeah, that was one thing that kind of took me a while to get adjusted to, because, you know, how am I supposed to take advice from someone who's, you know, cussing the hell out of me right now, and, you know, just treating me like complete and utter garbage? But that's the thing, you don't really do it for them, you do it for yourself too, because you know, so many times, you know, people get used to, you know, just praise this, praise that, and then they don't want to ever listen to anyone who's actually giving them legit complaints, even if it is in a hostile way. So just keep your mind open to constructive criticism. That's a great way as well to not get discouraged whenever, you know, you do get, say, trolls or just negative people on the channel. Another thing I like is sticking to stuff that I know I enjoy. So when I started out, I basically did Sonic Colors, I did Donkey Kong Country Returns, and Super Mario Galaxy 2. You know, games like that. And they were games I was extremely passionate about, extremely knowledgeable about. It helped me, you know, kind of get better with my commentary, to where, you know, I was like, oh, I love this part so much. You know, there were less moments to where there were awkward silences and whatnot. And, you know, while my commentary was still cringy, you know, it kind of helped me get better with it, so that, you know, I talked about, you know, stuff I liked more, kind of pointed out different things that I thought were really cool. And, you know, just stick to things that you know you're going to enjoy, so that it exudes through your content and your viewers and audience can see that. Lambchops 2003 asks, can you please play Crash Bandicoot? And isn't there like a new HD remake coming out soon? I'm just gonna play those, you know, instead of going back to the old games right now. I'd rather play with, you know, the updated graphics and frame rate and all that stuff. So yeah, yo, it's my boy Mega Drive Brad. What's good? It's good to see you on the video. He asks, what is your favorite Disney movie of all time? So that's actually kind of hard, because I mean, there's so many good Disney movies, you know. There's like Lion King, which classic like always. You know, I like all the Disney princess movies, and I know that may be weird to some people, but hey, they have some pretty bomb music. If we're including Pixar, I'd probably have to say Up, because I don't know, something about Up, it just really, really touched me. It was like a great Pixar movie, it had a great storyline, great CG animation and whatnot. And then I think what really, really touched me was seeing the relationship between the main character, I forgot his name, and you know, Ellie. I believe that's his wife's name, Ellie? Yeah. Basically just that walk down memory lane to where, you know, they're living together, you know, he gets married to her. And, you know, you just kind of see like their good times, the bad times, them just, you know, growing together as, you know, a couple. And just to see that true, genuine love, and then to see the heartbreaking, you know, passing of his wife, I don't know, it really hit me. It was actually one of the first times I cried watching a movie, and like I said, it's kind of hard to actually get me really emotional like that from something like that. But man, it was just, I don't know, it was really, really awesome to see. And, you know, just, okay, my camera cut out, my bad. But anyway, yeah, just the entirety of Up as a movie was really, really awesome. So I'd say that's probably my favorite Disney / Pixar, whatever you want to call a movie of all time. Alright, so Level 58 Designs asks, sounds good, basically referring to how I'm no longer doing Mod Mondays, Fan Game Fridays. I'm basically doing mod coverage and fan game coverage every day. He says, sounds good. How about instead of having it named by days, have it keep the alliteration, just name it something cooler, such as Fan Game Free Day, Mod Mystery, Mastery, Masher, Smash Sunday. I don't know, just a thought, so it would still keep people coming back and you can do it any day you want. So that's the thing, I've actually been trying to think about, you know, a new series name for like, I guess my mod showcases or my fan game showcases, but it's a little bit difficult because, you know, it's not set to a specific day, so I gotta actually be a little bit more creative. That's the thing, I've been so tired recently. My creative juices have been at an all-time low. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that, but if any of you all have any suggestions and, you know, want the series to have a name, like how Mod Mondays had a name, so that, you know, it kind of set itself as a series on my channel, give me some suggestions down below. Maybe you all can help me out and have it be a little bit better than Fan Game Free Day. No offense, but you know, yeah, no. Alright, so we got a question from Mr. L himself, and he asks, Cobi, do you think this will hurt your YouTube channel? Referring to me ending weekly series. Also, what are your future ideas or possibilities for upcoming series? So, yeah, I actually do believe it's gonna hurt my channel. Thing is, though, is that I was kind of like, I don't really... I mean, I don't really care about the repercussions of, I guess, views right now, as of recently, because I feel like I said, you gotta adapt, and sometimes you kind of have to change things up to better yourself and better your channel. I feel like having those weekly series really were a hindrance. They were holding me back. They kind of kept me in this mindset to where I was just like, you know, instead of just covering all these fan games at once, you know, that I want to play, or covering all these mod games I want all at once, I was just like, well, I gotta space it out and whatnot. And then I have people who are saying like, wow, it took you forever to get to this or whatever. And I'm just like, you know, I mean, it's a once a week thing. Like, I can't cover so many things. So I thought about it, I was like, you know, honestly, I just made those weekly series back then to kind of bring something new to the channel, see what really resonated with people. Then I saw, you know, as of recently that, yeah, people really, really love those series. So instead of just doing it one day a week, let's do it any day of the week. So, yeah, I think it's gonna hurt initially, but over time I feel like I'm going to enjoy doing it more as a content creator. And I'm pretty sure you all will be, you know, happier because I'm actually not holding back as much. Does it make sense? Alright, so Emmy Pinzel asks, what's your diet? And oh my lord, okay. So my diet right now, I'm on a keto diet. Basically, I'm not eating any breads or carbohydrates. The only carbohydrates I get are in the form of lettuce, broccoli, and fruits. As I've been getting strawberry banana shakes from Smoothie King, but that's the thing, that have like no sugars, like actual added sugars or artificial sweeteners, and then you know, it's got like 50 grams of protein in it, so that's why, you know, I get that. But yeah, mostly just meat, vegetables, and fats. So, you know, on that keto diet, I'm trying to lose my belly fat right now and hopefully get a six-pack. Plus, I'm doing this as well for discipline because I've always had really bad sweet tooth, and man, I just guzzled down so many sugary drinks. Honestly, I feel like that was one reason why I was getting sick a lot. And you know, it was like I would work out, I would eat healthy, but then, you know, here I am drinking 3 sweet drinks or drinking a Gatorade, like a 32-ounce Gatorade. Those things have like 70 grams of sugar in total. So it's just like, you know, I kind of realized I really needed to discipline myself, you know, not just for the fact that I want to look better and feel better, but also for the fact that, you know, I do need to discipline myself. So, been on a keto diet. It's been pretty intense, especially since I'm recording, editing, and then going to gym twice a day, and both times I do cardio for 20 minutes, Stairmaster level 13. Man, it kills your legs, but yo, I'm kind of getting a little bit of junk in the trunk right now. Well, we're not gonna talk about that too much. Anyway though, yeah, I've been going in with that, so that's one reason why, you know, I haven't been able to upload like 3 videos a day over the past few days because that's honestly what I've been wanting to do. But you know, once I get fully adjusted to this keto diet and, you know, I feel energized and everything all the time, then I can do that more. But it's hard, man. First 4 or 5 days, you basically feel like death. I was so glad I recorded ahead of time and had videos to upload because, oh my god, it was terrible. It was terrible, but yeah. Alright, so Asif Islam asks, so I will ask you something, why don't you play Bayonetta 2? Okay, so I actually do want to play Bayonetta 2. I was thinking about it just a couple of days ago, actually. I woke up, I was like, you know, I really want to play Bayonetta 2. That is a fun game. You know, I canceled my other playthrough before because I just felt like, you know, like I said, there wasn't that much interest in it, and since I wasn't really getting interaction from you guys as much on that series, I was just like, I'm honestly just gonna play this game on my own time. But that's the thing, because I don't really get to play games on my own time, I haven't even been able to finish Bayonetta 2. But, you know, I thought about it, I'm like, maybe it's time for Bayonetta to come back. Maybe it's not. Let me know down below. Alright, so Herson Pineda asks me, and this is actually a question that a lot of people ask, so I'll go into detail on this. Did you have any other career besides YouTube, or was it always your career? So I actually do like how he put YouTube under career, because there's so many people on the internet who are like, oh my god, YouTube is a job, you shut up, get a real job. Like, man, F you, man, screw you, man. Anyway, you know, it's just like, it's kind of refreshing to see someone actually, you know, be like, hey, it's a job. Because it is time consuming. You know, it may not be strenuous as in like carpentry or whatnot, but you know, there's still effort being put into it. Even though it's something I enjoy, that's the thing. Just because you enjoy something doesn't mean that it can't be a job. I'm making money off of it, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's actually the only thing I've ever done. And I don't want people to think that I'm just like, you know, oh, he's just never worked a day in his life or anything like that. That's not the thing. Actually, so he didn't actually exactly ask that question in that comment, but it kind of basically leads into it, because I had, I'd say probably like 20 people, like a lot of people basically asked me, why did you start doing YouTube, or when did you start YouTube? So back then, about like 6 years ago, I started YouTube. And the reason why was because basically I was a loser, you know, I didn't have anything else to do. I was homeschooled, you know, I would sometimes go see friends and all that stuff from like high schools and private schools around the area and whatnot, or church. And, you know, that was basically my way of kind of like communicating with other people in person. But at the same time, it just wasn't enough. You know, I'm tired of being at home all the time, homeschooled. You know, I couldn't make my own money. And, you know, it wasn't like I was getting money from anyone else. You know, I wasn't getting it from my parents or my sister at a job. And I wanted to work at Chick-fil-A when I was 14. Well, okay, my camera's about to, like, cut out or whatever. But basically, I wanted to get a job at Chick-fil-A when I was like 14 or 15. Thing is, though, is that, you know, I had to stay at home because my older sister, my mom were at work, and my little sister, you know, was at home. So I had to kind of stay with her at home. So that's why I couldn't get a job, and I was like, well, dang, what else can I do? You know, I just got like so much free time right now, what else can I do? So I started doing YouTube, and just kind of did that as a hobby at first, kind of to interact with other people who had the same interests as me, because a lot of my friends not really into Sonic or, you know, Nintendo or anything like that. It was like, I would talk to them about it or whatever, and it's like, oh, okay, that's nice. And then, you know, there's something else like sports or whatever. So it was basically my way to kind of, you know, share my passions and see if I could, you know, interact with other people who have the same passions as me. And then over time, it just, it kind of blew up. It was funny. I started YouTube, like I said, because, you know, I wanted to interact with other people and I had so much fun with it. But at the same time, when I started out before, I was still trying to get money from it. I would do things like my likes and all that stuff, different advertisements, because basically, my mom was like, we're cutting off this internet. You're on the computer way too much. I'm just like, oh my God, this is terrible. Like, you know, this is literally my only way to talk to other people, you know, who have the same interests as me. So I would always just try and at least make like maybe $30, $50 a month on my likes, or just, you know, making videos and whatnot, so I could pay for my internet bill and then keep doing YouTube. I never actually expected it to be a career or anything like that. And then over time, it just kind of happened when I was uploading more and more people, I guess, you know, enjoyed my content. And yeah, the reason why I did it was because I didn't have anything to do. I didn't really have any friends who had the same interests as me. And being homeschooled, stuck at home all the time, and then not even being able to make money when you want to, and yeah, it was just really, really annoying. So I kind of wanted to do something else besides just drawing, which was my big hobby at the time back then. Alright, so Ali Hafiz asks, when will you finish New Super Luigi U World 9? Bro, I forgot that was a thing on my channel. Alright, so I forget a lot of things, like a lot of things. I'm very, very forgetful, which is something I really, really hate. I'm trying to work on right now. And it got worse, like really, really worse when I started working out, because I'd get really exhausted from gym and I'd just completely forget about everything else and kind of become negligent with other things, like, you know, cleaning and other stuff, which was something I was really, really good with before. So, yeah, a lot of games I've kind of forgotten that I was even doing a series on them. Like, I have to constantly remind myself all the time, oh yeah, I'm doing Gravity Rush, I need to finish that game. You know, it's just, I have so much on my mind. I'm trying to do so many things, come up with new ideas to resonate with my new viewers, and, you know, the viewers that are watching right now, that, you know, I'm just, I don't know. There's always so much on my plate, and I tend to forget things a lot. So I forgot New Super Luigi U was even a playthrough on my channel. And yeah, there are a lot of playthroughs I want to go back to, but I always keep forgetting about them, man. It's terrible. Alright, Player John 101 asks, Cobi, are you getting more games for the Vita? I think you should be asking, is the Vita getting any more games? Alright, so we got ourselves a really, really big comment from Mr. E. Now, he actually had a lot of really kind words to tell me. I'm going to kind of skip those for this because it is actually a really, really long question, and I want to help you out. Alright, so Mr. E's question is, I joined a Chinese club and found myself eating a mooncake and talking to my associates. All was well, however, towards the end, I found myself facing one of my club members in a game of Chinese chess. He wanted me to hurry up and make a move when it was my first time because I was a novice. When we were playing, he kept telling everyone how I am not being strategic and I am not smart enough to make a decent play. I responded by saying, well, I may not be smart when it comes to Chinese, but I am English-wise, something like that. I could tell the guy was competitive, a little too competitive. I was just playing for fun. Long story short, I kept trying to return his awful comments with kind words. I even told him that I would forfeit since he said he was running late for class. In the end, he decided to forfeit and explained to the group that the only reason I won is because I was making him late. I said, good game, man. He got up and left. It was very awkward afterwards. My associates explained that he is really serious about his classes. I sort of felt bad. My older brother told me not to worry about it, and I tried saying goodbye to everyone, but no one bothered to respond other than my professor and his assistant. I don't know why, but I get a strange feeling like a lot of people do not like me. I like to help others. Some people have been treating me the way I want to be treated. However, I get the feeling they only do this because they all assume I am smart and they will keep using me until I become expendable to them. My parents want me to get involved with others in college, but I have trust issues. I can't actually call some of the people I've interacted with my friends because they gossip about others, including me, behind their backs. This is something I just can't tolerate. I'm just a regular guy who happens to be around the campus and loves to help those that need my help. Unfortunately, I have another meeting I have to go to later today. So my main question finally is, how do you think I should deal with people when it comes to interaction? And how did you deal with people who have offended you in a certain way / made fun of you? Apparently my mother explained that I used to be extroverted, but now the drive / motivation just stopped and I secluded myself in my own bubble. I try to talk to people, but I find myself at a point where I don't say much because for some reason people tend to mimic me whenever I try talking. I guess that has something to do with me sounding like Bill Cosby. It's been happening since high school and frankly I am sick of it. Basically stop talking as often as I used to because I am somewhat afraid that people will continue to make fun of how I talk. For instance, my roommate brought his friends over and they kept asking me a question and I could not understand what he was saying. And when I asked them, what did you guys say? They mimicked me and now they are asking me why am I not talking anymore. Everyone says I am funny even when I am not trying to be, and it is sort of frustrating because I am pretty serious when it comes to schoolwork. Sorry if I went too deep, and if that is long, I just wanted to explain with what I'm dealing with in college. Alright, so that's a lot, wow. Alright, so I grew up very quiet, very shy, very insecure, and basically sheltered my entire childhood. So it was really, really hard kind of getting adjusted to like the real world and just like society. And even to this day, you know, I feel like I'm still kind of behind with certain things because, you know, just of how sheltered I was with being homeschooled. And one thing I absolutely hated was that I was extremely shy. Like I just, it was like I could come up with words and stuff like that, but because I'd be nervous or I'd be like, wow, someone actually wants to hear me talk or something like that, I would like stutter and whatnot and just make myself look like a complete fool. So what I did was I put myself in situations to where I felt like, you know, I wouldn't really have to worry about what someone thought, you know, like I didn't go out and be like, oh my God, you know, there's Kylie Jenner right there, let me go talk to her, even though, you know, I'm like the shyest guy in the world. So, you know, I put myself into situations where I just tried to interact with people that I didn't really have to care about the repercussions if I did screw up. So say I'm in a grocery store or something like that, and the cashier's there. They're like, hey, how's it going? How's your day going? Are you doing anything special today? Or how long's your shift or whatever? Just small talk like that. Just kind of have to take little baby steps to kind of build yourself, get yourself up there. Because if you try and make that huge leap when it comes to something like social skills, especially with how just this day and age is, where you're always getting ripped apart if you are like a loser or a nerd in any kind of way at all, you just kind of want to start out small. So I know that probably sounds really weird, like talking to a cashier or something like that, but do it. Like, I don't care if it's a girl, I don't care if it's a guy, whoever it is, just talk to people. Because when you talk to people like that, it helps you be more spontaneous, to where you're like, okay, so I'm just talking to someone randomly. I can literally start a conversation with anyone right now. And then the thing is that because I'm starting this conversation with someone I've never met in my life, I can kind of experiment, see if I can mention this, like be like, oh, okay, I like your shoes, or I like your hair, or something like that. And just kind of play around with it. And because it's someone you're talking to for the first time, and you probably won't see them again, and then the best part about it is that if you're not interested in them, you can just talk to them like normally, and it kind of gives you that practice. That's how I practice to kind of get better with my social skills. Just talk to random people, do small talk, and then that kind of prepared me for just talking to people I actually liked, or just being more social overall. Now when it comes to other people making fun of different characteristics or traits about yourself, whether it be physically or just personality wise, that's a really hard question to answer, because I definitely dealt with that a lot, and I'm getting over it now. I don't really care as much. Every once in a while I do. Like I said, past sometimes haunts you, but it's kind of hard to answer because, not every method works for everyone. People are different, and, not every method works. But for me, what I just kind of did was I kind of had to learn to laugh at myself. Like, a lot of people back then, and when I started doing YouTube and all that stuff, always made fun of my tooth gap. And it was like something I was really, really insecure about. And, it's something that's been in my family for a while. And I just kind of thought about it when it was really, really bugging me and all that stuff. I was just like, well, was there anything I could really do to control it when I was younger or born or anything like that? No, there isn't. I could get braces and all that stuff, but I don't really want braces. I don't like how braces look, and I don't think they would look good on me. So, that's just how it is. But I got this tooth gap, and I do kind of hate it low key. But that's the thing. It's like, sometimes you just kind of have to embrace, different quirks about you, or different physical attributes that you may think are weird, or, learn to laugh at them. Like, sometimes we'll be like, dang, I got a quarter slot for my tooth gap, or, whoa, Cobi, you're trying to work out too? You're trying to be like Mike Tyson, my boy, I see you. So yeah, laughing at myself and being open to people nitpicking things that really shouldn't matter was what really helped me get over that, because I thought about it, I'm like, does it really matter? Like, does my tooth gap define who I am? Some people may be like, oh my god, it's so big, it probably does, but, it's just like, I kind of had to look at it like that. So like you said, a lot of people make fun of you because you sound like Bill Cosby or speak like him, and one thing that helped me whenever someone, made jokes like that was I kind of had to look at it and be like, does this really take away from me as a human? Like, just my personality and whatnot, and who I am as a person. And like I said, it's easier said than done, but when you kind of just ingrain that in your head, you just kind of have to keep telling yourself that over and over again. You kind of have to make it a habit. That's why, like I said, talk to people when you're out and about, like whether you're at a grocery store, or you're getting fast food or something like that, you're at the drive-through window or whatever, you're like, how's it going, or whatever, just a little small talk like that, so that kind of get yourself out there a bit more. And it takes like 2 weeks to make a habit happen, so just kind of consistently encourage yourself in a way so that you know who you are as a person. You don't let other people get to you as much. And another thing too, you said that someone mentioned that, but then all of a sudden people are like, well, why don't you speak as much anymore? So it's like, I feel like some people just have different tolerance levels. You don't know if something's actually going to affect that person or if it doesn't. So like you said, someone saying that you sound like Bill Cosby, that offended you. And maybe that person said that without actually like trying to be hostile or, you know, really poke fun at you. It was just something they observed and then, you know, they spoke their mind or whatever. Sometimes I tend to do that. I'll say different things, and you know, other people have different levels of tolerance, and you sometimes have to be aware of that. You know, there are a lot of people who come from different walks of life. Like, you know, like I said, I came from a background to where I was extremely shy, insecure, and sheltered. You know, but like my mom didn't really want me exposed to a lot of things in the real world because she feared what they may do to me, or, you know, my knowledge of them. And you know, that's the thing. That's why whenever people ask me, have you watched this movie or have you watched that movie? No, I've never watched that movie. And they're like, oh wow, that's so lame. Like, what the heck? Everyone's watched that movie. It's just like, well, you know, everyone comes from different places in life. You know, I haven't watched Shrek 3 or something like that. And then at one point I had never drank. So it's like, you know, people make fun of that, but did that really take away from who I am? No. Another thing too, just a little tip. If you feel like something is really getting to you, and it's something that you thought about yourself, like, you know, you've been insecure about it, and it's something that you want to fix, go for it, my boy. Go for it. Because one thing that really bothered me when I was younger, because, like I said, I was sheltered, Mom didn't really want me doing sports because she was afraid that I'd like break a bone or something, and hey, we don't have money to fix your bones or anything like that, so no, you can't be playing football or anything like that, or any sports or whatever. So, you know, I didn't really get to do anything like that. And I'd have really tiny arms, like tiny arms. They were basically bones. So like I'd be walking around, or if I see a friend or something like that, and they're just looking at like how skinny I am, and I'm like, God, I know they're looking at how skinny I am right now. That's the thing, I know it. And then every once in a while, you know, when there's that one adult or whatever who's like, oh, you need to get some meat on your bones, dude. Like, you know, that kind of crap. I hate that, man. So yeah, me being like a different size, whether I be huge or, you know, small or something like that, doesn't really take away from, you know, who I am as a person. But, you know, I thought about it and I was like, well, I'm not really happy with myself right now, with my appearance or whatever. You know, I want to work on this. So whenever I first started going to gym, I went really in, because I took those words that people, you know, said, or, you know, people making fun of me, of my appearance or my build or whatever, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna change myself. I'm gonna do it for myself though. I'm not doing it for them, I'm doing it for myself. I'm gonna use their words that they used against me, that bothered me before, to motivate me even more and push myself harder to where I actually want to be as a person, to where I won't feel as insecure. Like to this day, I still remember all the times where, you know, people made fun of my appearance or whatever. If I was on a date, I'd be talking to a girl, I'd be like, oh, you know, yeah, I'm working, I'm trying to go to the gym a little bit. This is when I first started out. I was like, I need to get some more meat on my bones. And then, you know, this person's like, I'm like, wow, bro. I just led myself into a roast. That's the thing, because I had already been so aware of it already, and I knew it was something that I needed to work on. Even though people were making fun of it, I didn't really let that discourage me. I let it motivate me to where I wanted to go. So another thing you mentioned is how different friends, you know, will gossip or make fun of you, or you feel like you can't really trust them, and feel like there's some people who are just being nice to you because you believe, you know, they believe that you'll be expendable at some point, to where, you know, they can make use of you, whether it be, you know, help with schoolwork or something like that. And you know, that's really common these days. You know, there are just a lot of people who, you know, want things for themselves, or think kind of selfishly, or, you know, try and see what they can do to manipulate, you know, a person's good heart. And I've had that happen multiple times, whether it be, you know, family, friends, all that. And it really did mess me up a lot. You know, I kind of keep my circle close. You know, I still talk to people and all that stuff, but there's just only a few people I trust, because, you know, trust is something so hard to entrust to people these days. And the reason why is just because of the environment, because of society. It's like, you're honestly, someone's got to take that step forward, you know? Like, people are going to gossip. So say you hear someone, you know, gossiping about this one person or whatever, saying this. It's just like, you know that those people are friends, you know that those people talk or whatever. You know, say something to that person, like correct them, whether it be about you, whether it be about someone else or whatever. And then when you stay in an environment for so long, it actually changes you as a person, you know, most of the time involuntarily. Like you won't even recognize it at all. It just kind of hops upon you, or you kind of notice it and you're like, dang, you know, I'm actually being like this person or whatever, like that person. But that's because that's my environment. That's who I'm surrounding myself with. And, you know, I feel like a lot of people do that. So, you know, Kelly may have never gossiped about someone, but then Sally, her friend, who, you know, who's her best friend or whatever, is talking all this mad smack about, you know, Cherie, and you're just like, whoa, okay, you know, I've never really talked about someone behind their back, but it's like, I don't really feel like saying anything because it's my best friend, you know, I don't want to upset her. But then you're like, you know, you just accept it. That's what a lot of people do. You know, they don't really speak up. And then, you know, because they get so surrounded by that time and time and time again, then they end up becoming that themselves. And sometimes it takes a bit of time for people to realize that they're becoming sheep or that they're falling into an environment like that. And I know I'm getting really deep on this, but I feel like it's very important to talk about both sides because, you know, I feel like so many people, when they have these insecurities and all that stuff, or, you know, they're concerned about this or that, like, we kind of tend to overanalyze things, or, you know, put things in our heads that actually aren't true, or, you know, we may misinterpret some things just because, like I said, we have a different tolerance, and some other people, you know, just grow up differently or have a different environment. So, like, I've talked to so many friends who, you know, may complain about their friend and maybe just going on and on, going in about that person. I'm just like, okay, well, have you talked to that person? Like, no. Like, well, why haven't you? I mean, that's your friend, you know, tell them what you feel they're slipping up on or they're messing up on. They're just like, well, I just don't want to deal with the drama. I got too much in my life right now to deal with that. And that's the thing. So many people are so busy that, you know, people forget about, you know, some people that they talk to, or, you know, they may say something behind their back or whatever, but it was never really their intention to actually be hostile towards the person or try and hurt that person's feelings. But it's just, you know, sometimes some people don't want to deal with drama, or some people just see so many other people gossiping that they just kind of fall into it as well. And I've fallen prey to that a couple of times myself. So, you know, it just happens. And like I said, it happens involuntarily. But I feel like that's something that you should talk to people about. If they're your friends, that's how you're going to actually see if they're your friend or not. So if they're your friends and you have a problem with that, you know, talk to them about it. You know, tell them you don't like this, or whether it be about yourself, you know, them saying something about you, or whether it be, you know, saying something about someone else. Like, stand up for other people too. Don't just think about yourself entirely about this. And, you know, that way you can kind of be that light for that person who's in an environment of gossip. Because like I said, there have been so many times in the past where I've just been like, this person's not my friend. They haven't messaged me in 2 weeks. I'm the one always having to message them. And nowadays, I can totally understand where some people were coming from, because I know right now, sometimes my phone will be super, super dry because I ain't texting nobody. I'm focused on working out. I'm focused on uploading. I'm focused on this. I'm just focused on goals. And, you know, because of that, I kind of forget about some things. And, you know, some people will be like, dang, are we even friends anymore or whatever? I'm just like, oh no, I'm so swamped right now. And then sometimes, you know, like, even recently I've kind of been like, you know, I hit up this person because, you know, they know a lot about this, or they have a lot of knowledge about this. Then I think about it, I'm like, you know, honestly, I'm just hitting them up for, you know, just help or whatever. And it's not like I'm only doing that just because I want to get something out of them. It's just because, you know, I need help at this certain time, and, you know, I'm like, well, who do I go to? And then I'm like, oh, that's my friend, I can go to them or whatever. So I get advice from them, and sometimes, like I said, you know, I just forget to actually be a friend besides that. So everyone, like I said, falls prey to it. Like, who knows, maybe you did something to someone. That's the thing, it just kind of happens sometimes. So, you know, that's why if I ever feel like someone's like, you know, possibly using me or something like that, you know, I'll talk to them about it, or at least I try to talk to them about it so that I can, you know, find a solution for it. Also, you say you like helping others and being kind, so correct people, like I said, because you're helping them that way. Even if they may not accept it or whatever, that's something that you're doing to help them as a human being, and then also the person that they're talking about as well. So yeah, I would suggest talking to your friends about, you know, just how you feel about certain things, whether it be them talking about you or talking about your friends. if they don't care what you have to say, then there you go. You know that they're not your friend. Kind of have to move on from that, because you don't need to keep yourself with toxic relationships like that. And then when it comes to people making fun of you about certain things or whatever, I gave you my methods. I don't know if it's gonna work for you, but I mean, it really helped me out a lot. So hopefully it can help you out as well. I really hope I can. And then also when it comes to just being more social as well, you know, step out of your comfort zone just a little bit. Like I said, take those baby steps. Just kind of start off small, whether it be talking to a cashier or something like that. Talk to people you don't even like. So one thing I actually did to kind of help my social skills and build up my confidence was I actually just talked to like just random girls, or like, you know, asked for numbers and whatnot from people I wasn't even interested in, because the way I did it was I wasn't doing it to be like manipulative or anything like that, or to get anything out of them, like, you know, sexual or whatever. It was just like, you know, hey, small talk or whatever. Be like, you know, hey, how's it going? You know, I like this, or like compliment, like give them a compliment, like, oh, I like your hair, or something like that, and introduce yourself. Then kind of bring up some little topic or whatever that's relevant or present in that situation. And then, you know, if you feel like the vibe's right, then be like, okay, cool, maybe we can do something sometime. Can I get your number? And there you go, like that. But I would always do it on, you know, people, like I said, that I wasn't like really into. And that's what really helped me out socially, just with any situation. Because most of the time, I think most guys are nervous just to approach a girl or something like that, or ask for a number or anything like that. So, you know, kind of start somewhere there where you know you're going to be nervous, but kill that by, like I said, starting out with, you know, just talking to anybody, or, you know, trying to connect with anyone. And that way, then when you actually do just want to get into a social environment, or, you know, actually ask someone out or something like that, then you're all set, because you have been practicing. You've kind of prepared yourself for different, you know, situations, different environments that you're going to be facing. So I definitely recommend doing that. Just a little tip there. And that was a long question and a long answer. My apologies. All right, so this is from Phantom Pain 534, and he asks, and he puts the hashtag Cobi Talks, trying to give me a little series name. That's what's up. Do the views, likes, or even subscribers ever get to you? Yeah, it actually does. And I don't mean in the way to where I'm like, oh my god, I'm the ish, I've got 1 million subs. Like, no, I mean more like, kind of lets me know when I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. And that's why I've always been like, it's really important to leave feedback, whether it be a like or a comment, because I look at that stuff, and I don't look at it in the way to where I'm like, you know, oh yeah, I'm getting big numbers and all that stuff, that's awesome. I try to think like, okay, what did I do here right? You know, I see this video got 10,000 likes, like the Sonic Unleashed compilation. I see that got 10,000 likes. And I see everything else on the channel, maybe around like 1,500 or something like that. Should I push more towards non-PG content for the channel? What should I do? But I feel like, you know, that's kind of a huge leap, so I'm not sure if I want to branch out into that entirely just yet, but it kind of lets me know. So that's why I've been like, you know, if you enjoy something, show your support, because if not, then I don't know. I've always, like I said, I had insecurities back then to where I was like concerned about what people thought about this or what they thought about that. So it's like, if, you know, I'm putting all this time into uploading a video and then people have a problem with, you know, leaving a comment or leaving the like, or they think that's like greedy or something like that, then I'm just like, well, what's the point? Like, there's a difference between playing a game and uploading a game. So like, you know, a lot of people want to be like, oh, you're just doing video games for fun and all that stuff. Most of my time goes into editing and the actual video process besides the games. So like, you know, I can record like 40 minutes of Uncharted or something like that, and then, you know, there are going to be some parts that I have to edit, and I got to sync the audio, and then I have to render that. That rendering time is taking away from me rendering other videos that other people may be more interested in, and then I got to make the thumbnail. That usually takes around 30 to 40 minutes, sometimes longer, because, you know, I have Brock, I pay him to do renders for me, and then what else? You know, just a lot of work goes into it. It's not just, you know, me recording a video game and then, you know, slapping it up there and then it's nothing. It's like, no, there's a lot more that goes into it. So, you know, I think about that a lot. And I'm just like, I don't want to invest my time into something that people aren't interested in. Because if they have a problem taking 2 seconds, then they shouldn't have a problem with me not wanting to put in 2 to 3 hours to put up that video. But yeah, so that's how I look at it as, because I want to grow. And I don't mean that as in grow as in numbers. I want to grow as a person. And I want to see what resonates with you all. And I want to, whatever it is that I feel I'm doing right, I want to strengthen that more. So, yes, comments, likes, and views, all that stuff, does affect me. Every YouTuber thinks about that. Because if they see that, something's not interesting their audience, they're going to be like, well, I can just play this game on my own time, and I don't have to go through the whole process of editing and uploading. That's the thing. Most people though who don't do YouTube don't understand that, because they don't understand that process that goes into a video when you're trying to present something in high quality. So yeah, numbers and statistics definitely do matter, and that's not even scumbag in any way. You should want success. That's another tip for small YouTubers. Do not listen to any of these internet trolls or keyboard warriors who want to tell you, oh, it's bad for you to want money, it's bad for you to want success, it's bad for you to want views on YouTube. Those people will hold you back. Never, ever listen to anyone who holds you back, because there's nothing wrong with that at all. Strive for the best, strive for growth, whether it be on your YouTube channel, you as a person, whatever it is, always go for more. Never, ever stop. That's basically how I look at numbers. It kind of lets me know what direction I want to go in, or if I tried something new, hey, it's actually something a lot of people like. Maybe I should do it a little bit more, because I'm actually seeing that it's worth my time investing in. So let's keep doing more. All right, so we're gonna do 2 more questions. These are kind of short ones. XOJ asked, are you mixed? Yeah, I'm actually part black and part Hispanic. My dad Hispanic, my mom black. And then Sue93, who is an awesome artist. Love her stuff on Instagram, she's awesome. She asked, or she actually said, you look awesome with that white hat. Yo, that was my Sonic hat in that video. And she asks, do you have a P.O. box? If you don't, are you planning to have one? I would love to send you my artwork and some letters. So, I don't have a P.O. box, but I have thought about it. I don't know, should I open a P.O. box? Let me know down below. Alright, so that wraps up for this video. Kind of a long Cobi Sez, first video. But I don't know, I just had a lot of questions and I didn't get to answer all of them. My apologies if I didn't get to yours. Maybe I'll get to them in a later episode, because I saw a lot of really, really good questions that I wanted to get to, but that would probably take like 2 hours, because it took like an hour and a half to actually get all of the questions, and then I think it took a while to record this video too. So I don't know how long it's gonna take. It's gonna take a long time to edit, and like I said, a lot of time and effort put into this besides just me sitting down and recording this like you're seeing. So if y'all could, make sure to leave that like. It really, really helps out tremendously. I would love to do this more if y'all would like me to. And ask me some more questions down below. Don't forget about those Pumpkin Hill and Chill t-shirts. And, mods and fan games any day of the week. Anyway, thanks again for watching. See you all. Have a good day. Peace, Republic of Cobanermites.